Hello and welcome back to class. My name is Lauren Fox and today I've got a flow for you that is centered around enjoying the journey. So at this point in the year, you're probably deep in the thick of holidays, whatever you're celebrating. And sometimes you lose that perspective about what's important, even though this is the season where everything's supposed to be reminding you about what's important. It's easy to get swept in the thrill of it, and kind of all the things that go on at this time of year. So I think this flow should be a really great reminder of just enjoying the experience wherever it might be, whether it's the holiday season or at any point in the year. It's just good to take a step back and remind yourself that this is all just part of a journey that's larger than any one day, any one week, and we should really try and just find the joy in all of our experiences. So why don't we get started? You can come to a child's pose on your mat. Toes together, knees apart, and just extend those arms out long in front of you. And in the first few moments of class, we're always just focused on tapping into the body, settling in, allowing the heart to soften, the breath to deepen, to become present and fully aware of the sensation of just being here. Feel heavy in all of your joints, taking note of all the points of contact with the mat. Breath, nice and easy. When you're ready, draw forward, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, until you find yourself in a tabletop. We'll extend the left heel all the way back, and then kick out the right ankle. So you're creating a little bit of a kickstand. Rotate the left ankle down until it makes contact with the mat, and then lift the left arm up to the ceiling. Nice little side stretch. In fact, if you like, you can take that left arm, pull it over the head to lengthen from toe tip to fingertip. Really press through the back foots. Using the strength of your bottom arm and a little bit of your core, you're going to press that mat away until you come all the way up to a T. And then take that left fingertips, then come down to the left knee, and then slowly walk over. This is your gate pose. One more breath. And then on an exhale, bring the right hand back down to the mat. Square off your hips. And then instead of planting your left hand back on the mat, sweep it through and underneath the right arm, bringing the left shoulder blade to the mat. Your left temple or side of your face will come down to the mat, and you can use that right hand to deepen the twist. If you like, you always have the option of taking that right arm, rotating it back, and reaching for the left hip. So you're getting like a double shoulder opening, maximum efficiency. And then slowly, if you have that right hand behind your back, bring it back to the mat, plant it. Inhale, press the mat away. Sweep the left arm out and open. Exhale, left hand back to the mat. Other side. Stretch the right toes to the back of the mat. Kick out the left heel to create your kickstand, and then rotate the right foot to make contact with the mat. Inhale, right fingertips up, maybe over. Trying to get a nice stretch all along the hip and the side body. Gently bend into the left elbow and then press the mat away, coming up to a T. And then on your exhale, walk the right hand down the right leg. Left arm comes up and over. Inhale back up. And then exhale, cartwheel the arms, square off the hips. Right hand sweeps underneath the left. Right shoulder blade to mat. And then you're either using your left hand to twist or even taking the left hand behind the back to reach for the right hip. Replace the left hand if it's behind your back. Inhale, sweep out and open. Exhale that right hand to the mat. Good. Make sure those shoulders are back over your wrists and hips are over knees if they may have shifted. And then you'll tuck your toes, lift your hips, and press on back to your first downward facing dog. It's the first one, so really engage through all 10 fingers. Make sure you can see the whites of your knuckles so you're not dumping into those wrists. Press that mat away, very active. And then we'll do a couple transitions to plank just to start warming up our shoulder girdle. So when you're ready, slowly bring the chest forward, roll out into your plank. Maybe you have to bring your toes back. So you're lengthening all the way out into a true plank. And then exhale, press on back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll out the spine to find your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, out to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, out to plank. Nice long spines, gazes about a foot or so forward. Exhale, back to plank. I think this is the last one. Inhale, out to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then just walk, step, take as many little steps as you need. We're gonna come up to a forward fold. Hips distance apart, maybe that's 2/5 distance. And then just find your ragdoll. So grab opposite elbows and allow the head to get really heavy. Maybe put a bend in those knees if that helps protect your lower back, just in case there's any strain going on there. Remove it. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Hands come back to mat. Heel toe those feet together. Inhale, flat back, crown of the head comes forward as the pelvis pulls all the way to the back of the room. Exhale, melt the heart. Inhale, reverse swan dive, lifting all the way up nice and slow. Take every ounce of breath up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Mountain pose. Excellent. All right, let's keep going. Starting to build up some gentle heat, a lot of repetition in today's flow. And again, it's just about getting into that process and enjoying it, not labeling it, just trying to really soak in all the goodness of each movement. So inhale, lifting the arms up to the top. Exhale, ride the breath all the way out into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Draw the tailbone back. Exhale, release the chest. Inhale, step the right foot all the way back. And you can immediately drop the back knee and untuck the toes. Inhale, lifting up into a low crescent lunge. Really trying to squeeze the knees together. So we're not necessarily sinking into the groin. We're lifting, right? There's no nirvana if you get your cookie to the floor. I'm sorry. And then exhale, placing the hands on either side of the front foot. Tuck your toes, lift the back kneecap, step back into a plank, hold for a moment. And then exhale, shift forward, either dropping the knees to the mat or going through your chaturanga, bending all the way down, untucking the toes once your belly and chest hit the mat. Squeeze the elbows together. Inhale, up to cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, press the mat away. And coming back to your downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg forward. Place it between both hands. Drop the back knee, this time your left knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, nice and familiar. Coming back into our low lunge. Kind of pull the knees together to lengthen out the psoas in front of the thigh. Try and be nice and soft in the shoulders. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, and lift the kneecap. Inhale, step together, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep all the way up, high mountain. Exhale, hands to Anjali Mudra. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Step the left foot all the way back. Low lunge. Drop the back of the knee. Inhale, rise up. Low crescent lunge. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, either cobra or maybe upward facing dog. That's when you press the knees away from the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot. Exhale, drop the knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, low crescent lunge. Take a couple breaths here. And then exhale the hands down, tuck the toes. Inhale, step together, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time each side. Inhale, sweep up, riding the breath. And then riding the breath all the way out to the bottom of your exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right foot all the way back, low lunge. Exhale, release the knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, rise up, 2 breaths. On your exhale, release the hands, lift the knee. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot up to the top of the mat between both hands. Exhale, drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, lifting and lengthening through the spine, through the psoas. Exhale, plant the hands, lift the knee, and tuck the toes. Inhale, step together, press the chest forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms come up nice and long. Exhale, push it all out to the bottom. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, melt that heart. Step the left foot back. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, lift. And exhale the hands down. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot up between both hands. Exhale, drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, plant the hands either side of the front foot. Inhale, step together, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, we're going to keep going with that flow, just a few changes to that flow. Inhale, rise up, long spines, longer side bodies. Exhale, melt the heart. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, step the right foot all the way back. This time, instead of dropping to the knee, you're going to rise up on your inhale to a high crescent lunge. And it's still kind of the same mechanics, right? We're trying to pull the knees together so that we can really feel the stretch along the front right side of the body. Even if that means putting a bend in your back right knee so you can tip the pelvis forward and then straighten it out, do it. Exhale the hands either side of that left foot. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Really try and create space between the shoulders and the ears. Exhale, press on back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Inhale, lifting up to your high crescent lunge. Again, pulling the pelvis or tipping the pelvis forward so that you're getting a nice stretch along the left side now. Lifting. And then on an exhale, step forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again. Inhale. Exhale, ride the breath down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Step the left foot all the way back. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Really try and focus the energy, all the tiny shifts in the body, little dancing moves. And just enjoy that sensation of being here, of moving the body, of being present. Exhale, release the hands back down. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot all the way to the top. Exhale, just pause. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, step the feet together, long spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, arms come out wide, lift to the top. Exhale, melt the heart. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release, step the right foot all the way back. Inhale, lifting all the way up, high crescent. Moving a little bit faster, we'll go straight into our exhale, frame the front foot, step back to plank, and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Immediately come on up to that high crescent lunge. Exhale, release. Inhale, step together, chest comes forward. Exhale, melt the heart. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale to Anjali Mudra. Inhale, last time on the left, lift up. Exhale and bow. Inhale, press the chest and crown of the head forward. Exhale, release, step the left foot all the way back. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Rise up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, release. Inhale, step the right foot to meet the left, flat back. Exhale, melt the heart. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring those toes to touch if they're not there already. And just close your eyes for a moment. Feeling all the good blood flow, all the heat that you've generated. And just be deliciously present and experience your body right as it is in this moment. Slowly flutter the eyes open if they are closed. And you have an option now to keep your hands at heart center, or if you prefer, if it helps you with your balance, you can take your hands to your hips. We're going to start with the left foot. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to extend the left toes out in front of us. In dance, we call this a tandu. In fact, I'm going to back up a little bit. So I'm going to stretch my foot out in front of me. I'm going to point those toes. And then from here, I'm going to make a half moon shape. So I'm going to swing that leg all the way around to the back of the mat. A little tap. And I'm going to bring it back to the front. Again, hands can be here or they can be on the hips. And swing it forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. One more time. Forward and back. This time, wherever your hands are, keep them there. You're going to begin to extend forward. We're starting to lean into our warrior three. As soon as those back toes begin to come up the mat, flex the foot to help you lengthen through the spine. And as you bring the chest forward, guide the back leg up. And you may have to remind that left hip to come down an inch so that it's in line with your right. And sometimes this is where it's really helpful to have your hands on your hips. From here, hands can be at hips, heart center, or maybe you extend them forward to your full warrior three. And then slowly, we're actually going to come back up, bend the knee, lifting all the way up. And then left ankle is going to come across the right knee, and hands will come to heart center. So we're in a figure 4. Begin to bend into the right knee. I know this is a lot of balance, a lot of focus, so find that dristy or that focal point. Still flexing through the left foot to help you balance. And now 2 options. You can stay here and play with your balance, or if you're really into more of the hip stretch, you can bring your hands either to the mat, or if that's a little bit too far away, take a block. You know, you've got 3 levels, and just place it there. And take a moment just to enjoy this figure 4 stretch. Slowly, you can bring those hands back to heart center if they are on a block or the floor. Bring the chest up. Ooh. Hand left heel comes back off the right. Extend it back. Find that warrior 3. And then drop the back toes back. Lift. High lunge. Nice, nice, nice. And then on an exhale, we're going to twist over to the right. So bring that left elbow outside the right knee. And then just twist open. And I know this is a lot of work on that right buttock, but you got this. Trying to use your arm to push to twist the chest so it's opening over to the right. Few breaths, you're almost there. Inhale, unwind, lift back up. Arms are up there for victory. We did it. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Ooh la la. Experience the difference on your right leg right now. Mine feels real juicy. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, step feet together. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. We're going to take our peace fingers and we'll bring them around our big toes. And actually, feet should be hip distance apart if they're not there. So this is called monkey. Lift the chest, extend the crown of the head forward. And then exhale, bend the elbows. Pull the crown of the head forward to the mat. And your legs, you can keep a gentle bend, but you want to try and slowly begin to straighten them, just as your arms are bending and pulling you in. Nice. Slowly release your big toes. Heel toe the feet back together. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Reverse swan dive, up. Exhale, hands to heart center. If you can believe it, we have to do all of that on the other side. So let's get right to it. Hands either Anjali Mudra or on the hips, your choice. Take those right toes, tandu, or extend the leg out in front of you. From the front, wrap it around, tap it to the back. Half moon up to the front, tap, and back. And front, and back, and front, and back. One more, and front, and back. Slowly from here, extend the chest forward, flex through the back foot. Lift up into your warrior 3. Take a moment. And then option to extend the arms. Ooh, balance is not as good on this side, but that's okay. We're just enjoying this, being like, oh, this is a game. I'm dancing. My body wants to wiggle. Just my ego that wants me to stay still. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Scoop the right knee through. Place the right ankle across the left knee. And then bend. Finding either a figure four balance, or again, the option to do more of a hip stretch, planting the hands on the mat. And this feels really nice after all the work that we did on the other side. Slowly, if the hands are on the floor, bring them back to heart center. And come up. Release the right ankle from the left knee. Kick it back. Finding that warrior three. And then plant those right toes all the way back. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale. Sweep the elbows over to the left. Come into your twist. Trying to push that right elbow into the left knee. The left knee resists so that it's helping you leverage the twist. And keep the chest nice and open. All right, inhale, lifting all the way up. And then exhale the hands down. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Allowing the work to settle in your bones and your muscles. Inhale, lift to the top. Exhale, walk, step, come up to that forward fold, hips distance apart. This time we're gonna find monkey. So we'll take our hands and we're gonna bring them underneath our feet one at a time, trying to wiggle the toes all the way up to the wrists. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, again, bend through the elbows, allowing top of the head to be nice and heavy. Maybe use those toes to massage out your wrists. And then slowly release one hand at a time. Heel toe those feet together. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, we'll just come on right through. One seamless movement. Inhale, extend. Exhale, release. Inhale, step back to plank. And then exhale, just coming down to your belly. I'm going to take a shoulder opener. So, wiggle yourself down so you're in the center of your mat. Let's start with the right arm. So I'm going to bend my elbow at a right angle, and my elbow can be just about an inch or so above my shoulder. From there, I'm going to use my left hand to push the mat away, so I'm twisting and lifting my chest off the mat. Now, you might very quickly feel the stretch in your right shoulder. So maybe you don't go very far, but you might take your left leg and step it behind the right leg. If so, do that, and then take a moment just to feel the stretch along the inner side of your right arm. Slowly come back to center. Other side. This time, left elbow is about an right angle, about an inch or so above the left shoulder. And then use that right arm to open yourself up, maybe stepping the right leg behind the left. And this feels really good on this side. Nice, and then come back to the belly. Setting ourselves up for locust, zip the ankles together. We're going to interlace the hands behind the back. And then when you're ready, you're going to push the palms of your hands down the length of your tailbone. Lift the chest. Maybe join the feet in on the action, lifting them up. Gaze us forward a few inches in front, keeping the spine nice and long. And then exhale, release. Plant one cheek on the mat. Allow the arms to come down to the side. Return your head to the center of the mat. Hands come back together to interlace. Inhale, pull the thumb and knuckles all the way down your spine and tailbone. Draw the ankles up. Try and keep them together. Nice long bodies. And then exhale, release this time. Opposite cheek finds the mat. Okay, left arm, sweep it around and plant it in front of your face. So the left arm is parallel with the top of the mat. And then you're going to push yourself up just a little bit, enough that you can reach back with your right hand to grab the inside of the right foot. And then once you have the foot, begin to kick it into the right hand and lift up into a half bow. Exhale, release the knee, release the hand from the foot, and come back down. Right cheek is going to come to the mat. Wrap the right arm around so it's parallel to the top of the mat. Lift up. Bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot. When you're ready, kick the left foot into the left hand, drawing up, half bow, and look forward. I should have said this on the other side, but you always have the option of extending that arm out for a little additional challenge. And then exhale, release the knee, release the foot, come back, left cheek to mat or to hands. Last one we will do a full bow, or you can continue doing a half, so spending half of the time on one side and then going to the other as we just did. If you're going for your full bow, you're going to bend your knees. This time you're going to reach for the outside of your ankles or foot. Once you have them, flex through both feet. Make sure that those knees are right in line with the hips. And when you're ready, you'll push the ankles and feet into the hands, lifting you up. Remembering to breathe. And then exhale, release. All the way down. Legs will go wide to the width of the mat. Bring the hands out in front of you. And just lay your forehead in your hands. Draw the hands back to the side of the body. Heels come back to hips distance apart. Tuck the toes. Press yourself back or up through chaturanga. We're going to make our way to our downward facing dog. Taking a couple breaths. Feeling the length of the spine. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, sweep it through and step, planting the right hand between both feet. And then both hands will travel to the inside of the right foot. Heel toe that right foot out about 2 or 3 inches. And we'll find our lizard. So it's perfectly fine to stay all the way up like this, or to drop the back knee, or to bring a little block. Bring your elbows to a block, or even the mat. So find what works for you. We're going to be here for a couple of breaths. I kind of like to alternate between a couple options. So even here all the way down, I'm going to lift my toes and lift my back knee to lengthen out. This feels particularly good. Sometimes I like to wiggle back and forth. The most important thing is to not to round over, like a scared turtle, and be proud turtle. So lift the chest, extend the crown of the head forward, or I guess we're proud lizards here. And just allowing the hips to open. If you are all the way down on your elbows, press into the hands and lift the chest up. We're going to, from here, everybody can drop the knee down to the mat and heel toe the right foot across the mat. And bend the knee and come into pigeon. Now pigeon, if you find yourself really leaning towards one hip, it might be helpful to grab your block or a blanket and kind of prop that right butt cheek up a little bit, just so you're squaring off the hips. And wherever you are, take a nice long breath, lift the chest, and then exhale, you can come down to your elbows. And just rest for a few moments here in pigeon. I realized in all the classes that I had taught over the last couple weeks, I hadn't done a pigeon with you guys. And that just felt like a travesty in the yoga world, right? Everybody loves pigeon, for the most part. And I should note, if you're not loving this because it's hurting your knee, which is I think the most common complaint, you can always do a thread the needle on your back. Good. Slowly lift yourself up, plant the hands, tuck the back toe, lift the hips, and step back to your downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale the left foot up and back. Exhale, step it through. Bring both hands to the inside of the left foot, and then heel toe the left foot out to the side. And you'll find your lizard on this side. Again, option to drop the knee, come to your elbows. Finding your version of lizard that allows you to enjoy. Lengthen the spine, keep the gaze nice and soft but long. Lifting on up. And then heel toeing the left foot all the way over to the right side of the mat. Finding your pigeon on this side, but taking a moment before you go down to lift up, to be long in the spine. before coming forward to your elbows. Inhale, lift up. Tuck the back toes. And step back into your downward facing dog. From here, drop to the knees. And swing those legs around. We're going to make our way to our backs. So we'll start off with bridge, and then we'll work our way up to wheel if that's in your practice, but if not, you can stay with bridge the entire time. So, for bridge, I like to reach down and perhaps you just dust the tops of your heels with your fingertips. You might not. It kind of depends on the length of your legs, and it's totally cool if you can't touch them or it feels better to actually bring them closer. You just have to play around with it and see what works for your body type. From here, I'm going to ground down between all four corners of my feet. I want my feet to be the same distance as my hips. And then once I'm there, keeping my legs like parallel train tracks, I'm going to press into my heels and lift my hips one vertebrae at a time. Once I go as high as I can, my arms are going to come underneath my body. I will interlace my hands and I will sneak both shoulder blades underneath me. This allows me to press even further up, bringing my weight further into my shoulders, but it's not in my neck. So I get to stay nice and long and breathing easy. To come out of it, I release my hands and I slowly bring one vertebrae at a time down, allowing my tailbone to be the very last thing to return to the mat. All right, so that's our bridge pose. Totally cool if you want to stay with that. Feels really nice. If you have wheel in your practice, go for it. If you haven't tried it before, I'll try to lead you through it right now. You're going to take those right fingertips and you're going to turn them towards your shoulders. Keeping those elbows nice and tight. You're going to press through the heels, and once again, you lift up through the vertebrae. Once you've gone as high as you can, begin to press into those hands and lift until the crown of the head meets the mat. Step one. If this feels good, maybe you straighten the arms, lift the hips, all the way up to wheel. Now from here, you want to make sure that those knees are not going wider than the hips. Lift, lift, lift through the pelvis. And then after 3 breaths, slowly come back down to the top of the head. Then release through, allowing one vertebrae at a time to come back to contact with the mat. And then you release back to your starting pose. Always try and do at least 3 breaths up at the top. Take a few moments here just to allow those sensations to sink in. It's a pretty deep back bend. Usually you try and do 3 of those in a row. We're only going to do 1 more today. So when you're ready, if you're going back into bridge, go ahead, do that. If you're taking wheel, replace those hands behind your shoulders. Press into the heels, lift the hips. Press hands to crown of the head. Lift to straighten. Try and press that chest forward like you're coming through the shoulder girdle. And then when you're ready to come down, slowly, maybe crown of the head, back of the neck, shoulders, back, tailbone. Release. Heel toe those feet to the width of the mat. Allow the knees to come in. Release the work in your low back. Knees are going to come to the chest. Give yourself a big hug. And then arms will come out to a T. Drop the knees over to the left. Gaze can go right. You can even take that left hand and place it on your right knee to help bring some gentle pressure and groundedness. Slowly bring the knees back to center. And then allow them to travel over to the right. Gaze goes left. Come back to center. One more big hug. And then lengthen one leg out and then the other. Arms long at your side. Everything is just nice and floppy, heavy, allowing itself to sink back into the mat. Close your eyes and find your Shavasana. I'll let you know when it's time to awake. slowly begin to come back into this space. Perhaps wiggling fingers, toes, circling out wrists and ankles. Extend the arms long overhead, getting one last stretch in. And then luxuriate in the process of rolling to one side, right or left. Either one is whatever feels right and good in your body. Finding your fetal position. And then slowly from that position, use the strength of your top arm to push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes closed, hands heart center. Taking a few last breaths with this community. Inhale, thumb knuckles to forehead center. And then bowing forward, acknowledging the light in each and every one of us. Namaste.